I don't even want to get into whether this is right or wrong. You know why? Because I'm mad. I'm mad that this is being passed off as poetry. Honestly, I think this is the first video where the poems have just been so stupid, all I can do is laugh. Hey guys! Today I'm gonna be reacting to Adultolescence by Gabbie Hanna. I do have a bit of news. Basically, I've kind of decided to finish reading this book before I continue the other books on my channel, just to kind of see how people prefer it. I only just started this channel, so I'm still in the experimental phase. Thank you guys so much for being patient with me while I try and figure out my style. I'm not gonna lie, when I first started YouTube, I did have a bit of insecurity, but that only lasted for a couple of videos. And then I got this confidence out of nowhere. And I don't know why, but that's starting to fade again. And even though I'm incredibly grateful for every single starlet I have, I am ever so slightly feeling that pressure. Like, I just don't want to disappoint you guys. Anyway, if you're new around here, listen up, because I got a little secret to tell you. I'm not just any reactor. I am Charlotte the Starlet, and I'm a writer. So I don't just react, I review. And the way I do it is simple. If I like something, I add a point, starting from last video's total. And if I don't, I take one off. And as y'all can see, I've got a couple friends with me. This is Angel, and this is Seth. Oh yeah, side note. I know it's only been a couple videos since I last said this, but I just came out of hospital again. I had to go back, basically. Kind of had an emergency. Instead of coming out with one tag like last time, I got two. Once again, you guys wouldn't have known that unless you follow me on Snapchat, and I'm not about to go into detail right now. We have a job to do. Okay, let's jump in. Some of these lines are beyond cringy. The word yo shouldn't even be in this poem. Gabbie calls herself a holographic Charizard. She pats herself on the back for pulling out them sick Pokemon references in this poetry book that no one asked for. Okay, so the first poem of this video is called Advice 5. Wait, no it's not. This Advice 5 is where we left off last time. The first poem of this video is called Vomit. Lovely start. So this poem is a ridiculous comparison. Gabbie tried to compare vomit to love. And I really don't get why. It's like she knows it's a ridiculous comparison, but she's forcing it to work. She says herself, hearts don't work like gag reflexes. That's an actual line in the poem. Like, no shit, they don't. She talks about when someone's favorite food makes them throw up, right? She says that throwing up can make a person hate their favorite food all of a sudden. But then she asks why people keep on indulging themselves with people they love, even though they make them sick over and over again. Like, she's not talking about everyone. She's talking about, like, with toxic relationships. Gabbie, you should know why. Not just because she may have had an experience with a toxic relationship, but also just because of common sense. Like, obviously, when it comes to toxic relationships, there are a lot of other factors that play into it. Like, someone who's toxic might not let their partner leave. Or someone with a toxic partner might not even realize that it's toxic. You know? Like, these two people in this toxic relationship might think they are in love. Now, I have to be honest, I don't know for a fact whether Gabbie's been in a toxic relationship or not, but if she has, for shame. She should damn well know better. And for me, if she has, even better. That means I can just talk to her one-on-one, like girl to girl on this, because I have two. I can look her in the eyes and be like, girl, this ain't it. Anyway, next one is called Pets. So this is disappointing, but I also feel like this is kind of pointless. Like, this poem didn't need to be written. Like, this is one of those poems that was written not because it needed to be, in order to give the writer or a group of people a voice. It wasn't written because the writer was very in their feelings and needed an outlet. Right here, we have another unfortunate case of the third type, which is poems that are written just because the author sat down and thought too much. it really honestly sounds like it came straight out of I'm 14 and this is deep. You know, that subreddit? And what makes it even worse, the reason I said that this is a disappointment is because it honestly feels like Gabbie just gave up halfway through. Like, it's so weird because the first half of the poem has an entire different pace, an entire different structure, and an entirely different rhythm to the second half. Like, the first half actually has like verses and it rhymes. It actually has a decent like rhythm and structure, and it basically reads like the thoughts someone might have when they really want a pet. But then the second half, I knew it would be bad when it changed and the second half started with pets are weird, think about it. Like, if you're writing a poem and you have to ask your readers to think about it, you're doing it wrong. You're done goofed. Because with poetry, yeah, you might want people to think, but you shouldn't have to ask them to, you know? When people read a poem, it should naturally make them think. Like, they shouldn't even realize that they are thinking deeply. But yeah, then Gabbie goes on to ramble about how pets and the concept of pets is so weird, you know? The entire point Gabbie tried to make with this poem, right, was basically, why do people buy pet after pet after pet after pet, knowing that one day they're just gonna die? The thing is, she doesn't even list. She goes into detail about the reasons why someone gets a pet. Pets are fun. Pets are loving. You can train pets. Like, they become part of your family, you know? But even though they do all them things, Gabbie's just here like, what's the point? If that's your mentality, what's the point of anything, you know? Like, why do people do drugs if it's just gonna wear off? Why do people eat food if you're just gonna get hungry again? You can make that kind of argument for anything. Does not make you smart. Next, cut. Alright, we got a picture. It's a girl standing in front of a mirror. I hate it. I guess for some other readers this might have come as another disappointment, but to me it didn't. I saw this coming from the start. So we have this picture of a girl standing in front of the mirror. That automatically sets an expectation, right? The entire poem tries to create suspense. You can tell Gabbie tried her hardest to make readers fear that this girl is about to cut her wrists, because the poem is called Cut. She's standing in the bathroom in front of the mirror. There's mention of cold sharp metal, and for the majority of the poem the girl's going back and forth with herself, like trying to convince herself to do it, right? However, when we get to the very last couple of lines, the girl cuts her hair. Like I said, I saw that coming from the very start, but you guys let me know if you read that and you were legitimately sold that she was gonna cut her wrists. Would you be mad that your expectations were defied, or would you be relieved? Because even though people may argue that you should be relieved, I can understand being a bit annoyed. However, the writing of this poem isn't good enough to actually evoke an emotional reaction from me. So I don't really feel either or. I'm more annoyed about how bad it is than over what actually happened, because the way this girl is hyping herself up, it honestly sounds like she's a cliche Mary Sue type of protagonist in a bad young adult novel. Next poem is called Fair. The whole thing says life isn't fair, but it's unfair to everyone, so that's fair, I guess. I don't even want to get into whether this is right or wrong. You know why? Because I'm mad. I'm mad that this is being passed off as poetry. This is not poetry. Next, organs. So, a bit of a weird one. I also can't figure out whether this has actually happened or not. At least this one kind of has a nice message. Or should I say nice? It's only nice in comparison to the last few poems we've had. Like, yeah, it's cringy, but it's cute and it's lightweight, okay? In this one, she tells the story of a guy that proposed to his wife, right? Before he proposed, his wife kept complaining that she had to pee, but they couldn't find a restroom. The guy proposed anyway, and she said yes. Then, later on in the day, like after they'd had dinner and called all their family and stuff, the guy realized that she never did go pee. That's it. Not quite. That's where the story ends. But the poem goes on for one more line. And Gabbie uses that line just to say, may your heart always be fuller than your bladder. May your heart be filled with such happiness that you forget that you need to pee. It took me longer than it should have to figure out that that was the message. But like I said, that's fun, it's cute. I'm not about to tear into that. Like, that's the type of happiness I want to strive for. Next poem is called Quotes. Okay, so this made me angry for two reasons. A, I feel very targeted, therefore I feel very threatened, because she calls me out on a personal level. Like, we've got a bunch of common phrases that people tend to say, and we've also got the type of people who say them, in Gabbie's eyes. According to her, a person who's very dramatic always says, I hate drama. Someone who's very insecure says, I don't care what people think. A particularly predictable girl says, I'm not like other girls. Okay, that's true. I'm sorry. That's true. And now, folks, the one I have a problem with. According to Gabbie, everyone who says, I'm not gonna lie, is about to lie. And as you guys might have noticed, I have a little bit of a habit of saying that. Except I don't say it when I lie, because that's just dumb. The reason I say it all the time is just because it's a bit of a verbal tick for me. Just because so many of my friends say it so much. I swear to God, if you stay in London for a week, you'd probably start picking it up too. Oh my God, especially if you hang around roadmen. Anyway, that's only the first reason I'm mad. The second reason got me even more upset. Because the very last quote is from Gabbie herself. She's literally put that as me, as in her. And do you know what that is? I'd like a snack. And the reason that makes me so damn mad is because she's listed all these other quotes and called out the people who say them, trying to make it seem like they aren't as special as they think they are because they say these things, and so do so many other people. However, out of all of the phrases she's listed, I am almost 100% sure that the quote with the most amount of people who say it is, I would like a snack. I'd even go as far to say that everyone has had that thought at some time or another in their lives. Gabbie! Jeez. Honestly, I think this is the first video where the poems have just been so stupid, all I can do is laugh, you know? Anyway, next poem is called Dog. Okay. If I'm honest, I don't fully get this one. Oh, wait, okay, so Gabbie compares herself to a wounded animal. If you corner her, she'll bite. However, at the same time, she doesn't want to hurt you, and she just bares her teeth in fright. Is she trying to justify the fact that she hurt someone? Because if so, Gabbie, that's messed up. Like, that doesn't justify it at all. Like, I'm pretty sure if you tried to claim self-defense, that wouldn't fly. Like, it's not okay to stab someone just because they scared you. Anyway, the next one is called Resolution. Ha ha ha, so funny, so quirky. It says, I wanted to quit all my bad habits, but one of my bad habits was quitting this. That's where it ends. The second line is meant to say, but one of my bad habits is quitting things, but it ends halfway through things. That's the whole poem. I have to say, I think it's one of the better poems, but that's only in comparison to the other stuff in this book. The only things that I like about it are that it makes the joke of ending prematurely, and it's written on that typewriter. Okay, the last poem of this video is called Match. I think this could be taken a few different ways. I think this could be either sad or inspirational, depending on how you look at it. However, I feel like very few people would find this inspirational. The poem basically says that sometimes you need to just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, look yourself in the mirror and say, would I swipe right? And I guess if you say this to someone when they're going through a really hard time, there is a small chance they might be inspired or motivated. But I feel like most people would probably just cringe. Like, honestly, this sounds like a Tumblr post. Oh my days, if that ain't Gabbie Hanna's whole entire brand. Cringy Tumblr posts. That's Gabbie Hanna wrapped up in one. Anyway guys, that's where I'm gonna leave it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give that like button a little kiss and subscribe to become a Starlet. Don't forget to follow me on Snapchat, Instagram and Twitter. And if you have read something that's just left you shook beyond repair, let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys later. Bye.